It started before I told it to. Oh well. Hello, I'm live. I'm going live again. I was playing AUTOMOBILISTA 2 earlier and I really liked it, so I'm going to do it again. It's COVID-19 lockdown again, so you know, what the fuck are you going to do? Oh look, I'm bigger now. Oh, I know ugly. Oh, I'm having lots of fun with AUTOMOBILISTA 2. If you can hear any jazz music in the background, that's my brother playing piano. He's a jazz musician. He's really fucking cool. Yeah, we're all in the same house at the moment. Yeah. Hopefully no one's actually watching this at the moment. I don't care if you are. Let's have some fun, eh? We need more fun. Too much griping and moaning and whinging going on. Right. Where's Race Department? Go and say hello to them. What are they saying? Oh, Andrew Bow likes me post. I made a post on Race Department. It's a long story. I'm going to reply to him with this. How do I do a thumbs up? He's done a thumbs up. I want to do a thumbs up. Smileys. How do I put my smiley in then? Put my smiley in there. Simples. I want to put my smiley in there. There we go. I don't want to let me put that one in. I'll paste my link then. Paste that. There we go. That's up. Rightio. AUTOMOBILISTA 2. Like any sim, it's got its flaws. Like any sim, it's great. So yeah, carry on, have fun. It's Christmas. Don't worry too much. I've just got to find my Facebook and then I'll put some stuff on there. Oh, hang on. Oh, look at that! Now you can hear me. I'm so unprofessional. I forgot that me microphone wasn't parked up. Hang on. No, I want to put that in there. Yeah, that one of those. There we go. I'll be with you in a minute, folks. I'm just typing some rubbish on about some crap. There we go. People are watching, going, "This is the most unprofessional person I've ever seen do a stream in my life." It's quite interesting. There we go. That's posted. gone and posted that. Not that anyone will care. Right. There we go. Right, I assume that's coming through loud and clear. Yeah, it is. I can hear myself. Oh, God. Right, what I want to do is I want to start up Automobilista 2 just before I'll go in here and... Let's pop that in there. Hey, here we go. Do. It's going to be a bit different this time. I'm not going to set up my own server immediately. I might not set my own server at all. I'm just going to go on to the Automobilista 2 multiplayer and see how much bloody fun I can have. That's if I can remember how everything works from earlier. Which is tough for me because I'm a bit thick. You know, remembering stuff and getting it working. Bloody hard. Does my nutting, I tell you. You can say stuff on the chat. Whether I reply or not depends on how fast I'm going. Right. It's all... Oh no, I've got to restart Automobilista because I haven't started my steering wheel. How many of you sim racers out there have done that, right? You've got one of these steering wheels like I've got that you actually have to switch on. It doesn't actually just like plug into the computer and it turns on with the USB when the computer turns on. You've got to turn it on. And before, but you haven't got used to that because you've only had the wheel 3 or 4 months. It's still taking you that long to get used to it. And so you turn your computer, you fire up your favourite sim, only to realise you've got no controls because you didn't turn on your wheel and calibrate it before you fired up your sim. Your favourite sim. I would say your favourite sim. It's hard to say that really because I haven't got one. I don't know about any EU lot, but I like quite a lot of them. I mean, I can still sit down quite happily with GTR2 or LFS. And this is like 15... How old now? Years? Anyway, here we go. Multiplayer. Let's go find out what's going on in there. If I find something interesting, I'll tell you where I am, and you can come and join in. Even if you're one of those people that's been posting on the forum who hates this and everything. Oh, what you like, you silly buggers. Right, what's this one? That looks... that's in a race. This one's GT3s at Brands Hatch. What are they saying? They're saying no interior forced view. I quite like interior forced views because then everyone's on the same page, but I'm not that bothered. It's got realistic driving aids, it's got damage, so yeah. And it's in a practice session. Let's jump in there. See how much... Let's just go and see how much fun we can have. There's a shit ton of people in here. And it's given me a Porsche. And I've got all of these to choose from. I drove the Porsche quite a lot the other day. So I think I'll drive it again. But not in that colour. I'm going to drive it in that colour. Orange and blue and kind of golf racing orange and blue. Be happy if it wasn't orange, blue and black. You don't want to be black and blue. That's terrible. It means you've been in the wars. But this is all right. I don't mind this. Just go back to my YouTube for a minute. I'm not going to bother with that. If I notice someone chatting away to me, I'll chat back. But like I said, I might be doing a simulated 100 miles an hour. Oh, I'm all over the screen. That's got to be changed immediately because I'm ugly, and you just don't want to see that, do you? So because you probably want to. If anyone comes to see this just to watch, then they won't see what's going on. So what about if I make myself really, really small in the corner, right, so I'm like well out of the way, and I do this. There you go. Less of me. That's, that's good. So put that over there. Oh, can I join this? It says they're racing. Can I join if they're racing? I thought they were in a practice session or a qualifying session. It'd be better if they're in a qualifying session, because it means then we're that little bit closer to the race. I'll keep looking down at my YouTube stream here thing, because I'm doing this all on one screen, because this screen's so big I can have a YouTube window on top of the game in my Firefox browser. But all I can see is the bit that says Tarmac Terrace the Potato. Say something! It's very demanding. It feels like I should say something, but that's not for me to type in, that's for you. So say something! Oh, we're in! Look at this! 16 minutes of free practice left, 9 laps of fuel in the car. Don't really want to do anything to the setup. Let's see how we get on by going around the track with absolutely no traction control and ABS. Because I'm a nutcase. Oh, she sounds lovely and ready. Off we go. Pit speed limiter. Don't forget your pit speed limiter. Alright, so this server's got ghosted vehicles on. For anyone that doesn't know sort of racing sims or Automobilista 2, well, I mean, A Set of Corsa is another racing sim which does the same thing as this. It allows ghosted cars in the pits, but this one allows ghosted cars on the track, at least for the out lap of the practice session. I'm not really into that. I want the cars to be solid on the track at all times. The cars, of course, are solid for the race. So there you go. For everyone who virulently hates Automobilista 2 or likes to whinge, there's something you cannot like about it. There's something I don't like about it. Really angry about it! Don't like Automobilista. Don't buy it because of that one little thing. Don't buy it. Forget all the great stuff. Apart from that, it's great. I'm behind a yellow Porsche driven by... Oh, his name's disappeared. There's another thing I don't like about Automobilista. If you get too close to the car in front, look, his name disappears. You can't see who it is. They have to be a little bit further away from you. So I don't like that. So don't buy it because of that silly little thing. Like, forget all the cars you can drive and the great tracks. So I'm just having a wind up here because I feel a bit sorry for Reason at the moment. They're doing all this great stuff and everyone's going, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. It's just like, really? Costs too much money. Steam sales on! Costs less than what? 3 pints of beer down the pub now for the entire game, apart from the DLC, but the entire game, you know, apart from that. You know, apart from those 2 reasons why you definitely shouldn't buy the game, it's quite good fun. Christ, I hope no one's watching this. So yeah, we're behind, what's his name? John, is it? John Miller. He's driving nice and cleanly on this server. I didn't look at the name of this server. Next time I go back to the garage, I'll look at the name of the server. So if you want to come and join in, if you're watching this, and you know, because the only reason you would be watching this is if you're slightly interested in sim racing, you might want to come and join in. I'll tell you the name of the server and you can come and jump in. There's lots of cars in here. Oh, someone's off the track. Oh, and I spent a little bit too much time looking at them, didn't look at what I was doing, and I went off the track myself, which is what generally happens if you focus on what's going on off the track when you should be concentrating on what's going on the track. I often think being on the racing track, you know, you've got to kind of, obviously you can't forget the other cars, but you have to sort of class them as moving obstacles and just keep focused on the idea that it's you and the track. You know, you've got to meld your mind with the track, get the flow of the track, you know, like Yoda channeling the Force, and that forces you, do you see what I did there? Forces you to get in the flow of the track, and just, you get kind of zen, you know, at that moment. And You know, I've heard racing drivers talk like that, you know, getting in the groove and the flow of the track, and I suppose racing is a little bit like meditation, you know. So there you go. Racing drivers aren't just, you know, silly nutcase petrol heads, you know, who wear tracksuits and, you know, talk about football and sports and cars and are well macho and all that. They're actually Zen masters. They like to smell the flowers and be one with the birds whilst destroying the planet with petrol. It's alright, we'll find an alternative, I'm sure, because if we don't, David Attenborough will come and slap us very hard on the wrist, which of course he should do. Who knows where this planet's going, what we're doing. Let's see. John's in 17th. He's getting lap times at 17th. I'm in 14th. I'm faster than John. How come I'm behind him? And who's that behind us in the grey Porsche there? I can't see a name tag. It's a bit rubbish. I'll tell you what, I've been in the game now, what, 10 minutes? And I'm having a lot of fun already. It's much better than whinging on forums, this is, I tell you. Superb. I do reckon that some people, you know, they spend hours and hours whinging on forums, get really angry, you know. I bet, you know, even if they're not sitting at home with nothing to do, if they're, you know, at work, every spare minute they get on their phone, have a look at the forum. Oh, I hate this, I've got to put another nasty comment down because I hate everything and I want everyone to be part of my misery, you know. And then they get home and they're too tired and they don't actually do any racing. And I bet they do that all week long. And then, you know, maybe on a Saturday they sit down with a sim that they've decided they really hate, but they can't stop playing it because, you know, they want to have another go at it to see how terrible it is. And they sit down, and for maybe 2 hours they're sort of like, oh, I really hate this. How's this corner? I've got to get into this this car seems to do that if I did it. And then boom, they're gone. Suddenly that state of zen, calm, meditation comes out, you know, comes over them. And they're gone, they're lost in the track. And it's just them and the track for, I don't know, maybe the whole day. And then they forget about it on Sunday, after they're, you know, too full from a roast, fall asleep, wake up and it's work again, and then, oh, back to whinging on forums. You know, I've done it, we've all done it, we've all been terrible bastards. You just got to see the funny side of it every now and then, haven't you? You have to see the funny side of the fact that us sim racers, you know, it's a demographic of men, you know, in their, usually around their early 20s, or maybe a little bit younger, up into their late 50s, early 60s, you know, so it's a reasonably mature audience. And what we like doing is sitting on a computer and racing pretend cars. And, you know, people spend like $4,000 on their rig and stuff like that. Who cares? You know, other nutcases go out and spend God knows how many thousands on a bunch of bent sticks to knock a tiny ball round, you know, a big flat course of grass. Go figure, you know. Whatever floats your boat. Some people spend, you know, a lot of money on a big plastic boat called a dinghy topper or a laser or something like that. I've got, oh look, got some competition there. Oh, someone's spun, someone's lost his bumper. Oh, he's hit something. Nacho Jack Show. Oh, I like his name. Oh, he's fast. He's second. I wonder how long the race is on this server. I haven't even checked. I'm having so much fun driving, I don't care. I haven't crashed into anyone yet, so I'm sort of quite pleased with that. That's the main thing. You know, I jump onto these things knowing I'm not going to be fast. Oh, Nacho Jackson has pushed it a bit too hard, trying to find those hidden tenths of seconds, and he's gone off. Respect to him though, trying to find them. They're hard to find. Oh, Brands Hatch, what a track. This corner being one of the most challenging downhill. As you can see, it's very challenging, especially for me, but more so for that fella who's just stacked it into the wall there. John, was it? Forgotten. Right, let's find out what the name of this server is, just in case there is some sad nutcase like me watching and they want to come and join in. It's called Lobby. There you go, an imaginatively titled server called Lobby, because that's the default name that comes up when you know, go for a server name, and some people just leave it there. Oh my god, there's 3 people watching. Hello, you 3 people. Who on earth are you and what are you doing watching some nutcase? There's 4 people watching. You're crazy people, you really are. Do say hello in the chat if you want to, or don't. I don't care. I'm having a great time. What's this now? Something on a website. It's great, this little, it's great because I can see what people say to me, because I found this brilliant plugin. I've mentioned this on another stream, I'm sure I did. Yeah, I found this brilliant plugin for Firefox where, let's go back to the pits, where it lets you pin the window so it's always on top. So I literally minimise it so I can just see enough of the chat, stick it right in the corner of my screen, and then I can still drive and see everything. Although, I've got to minimise it a little bit more, because it's kind of in the way of my wing mirror. But if I minimise it too much, I can't see what people are saying. So, who cares? I can see what you're saying. I'll just see less in the wing mirror. I've got a central mirror and some proximity indicators on. Oh, look at that! Donuts in the pits! I'm driving back into the pit. Oh, I'm going to get done for speeding in this pit lane because I didn't have my pit limiter on. Have I got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane? No, I didn't speed in the pit lane, so I'm alright. Oh. This is great. I keep hearing people, you know, another complaint I've heard is, oh, there's no one in the multiplayer. No one in the multiplayer on AUTOMOBILISTA. That's disappointing. Yeah, it is. Except I've just jumped in and immediately jumped into a server with like over 17 players in it. There's much more than 17 players in here. I can only just see 17 though, because that's as far as my readout will go. So I've got no TC, which is traction control, not Terrified Curry or something like that, running, and I've got no ABS. Which is not actual bullshit silliness, it's anti-lock braking system. I've got none of that on, even though this car's got it. It's a really nice, hot, sunny day in this server. AUTOMOBILISTA 2 having actual weather that you can... Oh my god, look at the state of that Porsche. Front of that's hanging off. That's Nacho Jackson. Nacho Jackson. I can't talk. We did see him clatter a wall earlier. But you got to forgive him for that, because he is damn fast, because he's in second. I have done a setup, the default setup with this car is pretty tame, but I have done a setup with this, you know, locking up the back diff and stiffening the anti-roll bars and suspension where you can, oh! Nacho, mate! Just caught his back right, his rear right wheel on the grass there. Sent him spinning around, that was quite beautiful. I've always thought ever since I was young, when cars are sort of spinning, it's quite beautiful. That makes any sense, because when I was young I used to watch rally, and I used to think that rally was the only sport in which you could see cars dancing, you know? Because cars can dance. Drifters know about that. Oh, hello! But I mean, with a rally, I mean, drifting's sort of a bit more like breakdancing, whereas rally, it's a bit more, I don't know, hip-hop jive? If that makes any sense? Or a bit more like the ballet. It's rather beautiful. But it's so precise, you know. And drifting's all about, you know, real show-off flair. I love it. I love all of it. It's great. That's the thing, actually, Reader Studios. That's the thing, because I know they've got lots of plans for this game, and I really do think they're going to do a lot with it. Drifting. How do you reckon they're up to the task of producing some drift cars and some drift tracks? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Steel Blackwater in the game chat has just said start already, but it's not the start already. It's still qualifying. People haven't finished. We're all getting used to the track. I know how he feels though. Sometimes I jump into a server and I don't want to do 30 minutes of practice and 20 minutes of qualifying. Just want to go and have a race, you know. Sometimes I'll set up a server like that and just go and have a 10-minute practice session or qualifying session, then go straight to the race. And sort it if no one joins, just stick a load of AI on. But now when you've got a server like this with loads of people, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I want plenty of time to get to know the track, and yeah, I want a reasonably long qualifying session so I can play with my setups and feel like an engineer. You know, that's actually why I got into racing sims. It's completely why. Is because I wanted to make myself feel cleverer than I am. Because, you know, I thought if I said things like anti-roll, damper, torque ratios, and, you know, it would make me sound really clever. Or, you know, it might make me sound like I was pathetically trying to strain my ego. And then I forgot about that and started having fun with them. Now, why did I get into racing sims? I just always liked cars and driving. I used to drive like a nutcase in me real car when I first got it. When I was in my teens. Do you know? Oh, you're gonna love this actually. My first car, which I got to learn how to driving, was about 15. I know, right, below legal age. Don't worry, it was on a field, not on the roads. Do you know what it was? You're not going to believe it. Think of a car that you'd associate with pianos. Old pianos that you want to get rid of and maybe want to, yeah, just trash and, you know, scrap. You know, like they've been dropped or something, like they were dropped on a car like they do or did quite a lot in Top Gear. Yeah, it was Top Gear's favourite car. My first car was a Morris Marina pickup truck that my dad bought for 25 quid, and I learned how to drive it on a mud field. That's right, Morris Marina, I said it. You know, the car that you can leave out in the rain for one night, you'll come back out and you'll find a gold seal engine, some tyres, a gearbox and some rust. It was so rusty you could see through the floor. It's brilliant. Everyone's finished. Who are we waiting for? Oh, I don't know who we're waiting for. Everyone is finished. Well, I'm agreeing with Mr. Steel Blackwater here, who said in the game chat, "Start already!" Let's whilst we're waiting for all that to happen. Oh, it's a 5-lap race, not very long. Let's see. I've got 5 people watching me now. Who on earth are you crazy people? Just go on and have a look at race department. Someone's on the AUTOMOBILISTA 2 December update thread. Someone's saying, dumb question, when is it supposed to be released? Sometime tomorrow. I think, yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. You know, release it New Year's Eve. I think that, you know, that would just be the classy move. So I'm going to reply to that. I've told them that it'll probably happen tomorrow, but I want it now! Oh, I'm losing viewers because I'm shouting too much. I don't really care. Just doing a live stream for the hell of it. People in the chat on game going, come on! Come on! I'm gonna put in what I like to put in when this happens. Which is, who's in charge here? See how well people communicate on this server. Communication is the key. Oh no! Everyone's leaving, so I'm going to start a server. I'll start a new server. Oh no, why they shouldn't have left, because it's now, what's it doing now? Well, hey! See? Patience is good. Right. 5-lap race. I'm going to tell them they're all on YouTube. I've just told them they're all on YouTube, so maybe that'll they'll go, oh, better drive really well. Fabio DZ6 has typed something I don't understand. People are joining in this session, I guess as spectators. Steel Blackwater says, great! You can watch later. Just type my name into YouTube. And I'll select start. And now I'm probably going to do. I'm at this. How am I at the start of the grid? I'm second. Let's go! God, those cars look terribly far away in my mirror, and they are. It's because a couple of people have just left the grid. People have no patience. Oh, someone just typed into the game chat, watch my fantastic driving. So I hope there is someone watching his fantastic driving, or her fantastic driving, whoever that was. Steel Blackwater, it's Steel Blackwater who said that. Right, we're in second, so that's, you don't really need to see the leaderboard and all of that, so let's get rid of that. Just have the pure driving view. We've got a Mercedes behind us, an AMG. Oh, I love this corner, but I have a love. It's one of those corners, a real challenge to get right. He's going down the inside. I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, I've got to give it to him. He had the line there, really. It is linked tick 445. It's really hard to read when you're doing, 160 kilometers per hour, which is, I don't know, about 100. Yeah, still got at least 11 people in here from what was about 20. That's pretty good. Honestly, about half the field left because they had to wait for, 30 seconds for the session to change over. This is the internet. Everyone's got, 15-second attention spans. I've just noticed that the light has changed. I wonder if that's just because this race session is set at a different time of day to the qualifying session, or if it's the weather changing on the fly. I wonder if it's got kind of random weather going on. It's only a 5-lap race, so I don't expect to see too many changes. It's certainly got darker. Oh, he's fast, this fellow, isn't he? Just a shout out to Reza Studios, the maker of AUTOMOBILISTA 2. Thank you for keeping me entertained over the Christmas/lockdown holidays. Oh, it's just that part of the track that's dark. There's some light now. You've kept me really entertained. I'm really enjoying this, as I have also been enjoying, and with all of the bugs as well. Which I do complain about, I do make very vocal about. I just try and sandwich it with the fact that I love you as well. Yes, I've been enjoying this, and R Factor 2 by Studios 397, originally by ISI. As I have also been enjoying very much, every time I get in a bit of a mood, Wreckfest. If you're ever in a mood and you're a sim racer, you know very well that you cannot go racing. There's no point in jumping into a sim if you're in a bad mood. You can't drive in anger because you end up crashing and it's terrible. If you put on Wreckfest when you're in a bad mood, it doesn't matter if you crash because you kind of supposed to. And I'll tell you what, within 5 minutes you'll have the biggest grin on your face and you won't care about the fact that you hate something like, the fact that AUTOMOBILISTA 2 are giving away things for free. Oh no! Or, the turkey wasn't cooked quite to your liking, didn't use the right herbs, and ACC as well, which I'm hating that at the moment because I've just downloaded Content Manager and I knew where everything was and how I was supposed to use it, and now I've got to learn Content Manager, which I got for free. I'm really upset about that. I've got this great mod that I've got to learn and put some effort into. So yeah, I'm really not enjoying that at the moment. What else am I not enjoying? Assetto Corsa Composizione, which I bought I picked it up in the November sale, I think, just after the tyre physics changes have been made, and I've never really bothered with it before, and I'm so impressed with the multiplayer system and with the new handling. Very, very good. So yeah, I really hate that as well, don't buy that. I've just got old R Factor back on my hard drive as well. But I used to have the I'm so old, I've got R Factor from about the original R Factor from about 20 years ago, if it's that long now. which, you know, you could buy it on its own before Steam existed. But because I've got the old receipt, Steam have given it to me for free. So I've got that back, which means I can use certain mods that I love in that. At some point, I'll put my old hard drive from my old computer in here, and I'll be playing GTR 2 again. You know, like, people have been complaining about the price of these games and everything. It's just like, you know, I'd buy it, but there's only these cars I like, you know. Well, you know, there are so many cars in this that you'd need a lifetime to try every different combination out. You really would need a lifetime to do that. I'm still doing that with GTR 2, which is also a game that's got bugs and problems. I love it. Live for Speed. Project Cars 3 is probably really good fun if you're into that sort of thing, you know? I could bitch and moan about that, I suppose, but I'm not going to, because it's just like, it is what it is, isn't it? I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who aren't really serious sim racers and they just want something to sit down and play with the gamepad. What's wrong with, like, wanting something you just want a bit of enjoyment out of, which you can lay down and don't have to put any effort into, really? You know, that's what some people who work really hard want at the end of the day. With sim racing, it's like you really need to get prepared. You know, if you've got something you need to control with a wheel, and you need to be really focused on it, it actually takes a lot out of you physically and mentally. I find that with really serious sim racing titles, they're no fun to play when you just want to, like, have a laugh. You know, you really need to make proper time for them. Plan your day. Hello, Ben Sutter says ha ha ha. That's my favourite comment of the day so far, Ben. It's nice, it's simple, it's to the point, and it's jovial. I salute you, sir. I'm sorry, I salute you, sir. The comments are over here and the webcam's over here. Sorry, I'm doing 213 kilometers per hour, so I get confused. Cooldown laps active. So, hang on a minute. I've just finished in third. I've finished on the podium whilst talking like a twat. How did that happen? And now everyone's doing celebratory donuts. Let's join them. Yeah! We can do celebratory donuts now. It doesn't really matter if we bump into each other because we're all finished. And the cars are all renewable. If we crash into each other at the end of the race, it doesn't matter because it's the end of the race. And when you go back to the garage, you get a new one. Isn't that great? Nobody dies. Lewis Hamilton won't get all righteous about stuff, and Bernie Sanders won't come and chop your head off. And the ghost of Murray won't shout at you in that voice that he used to do. Oh my God, the racing is fantastic here, but this person did not, you know. It's really easy to do an impression of old classic Murray if you just squeeze your nose and talk like that, you know. Like David Attenborough, you just have to pretend you're slightly constipated. By the way, I love those two people, Murray and Attenborough, so no one take the piss out of them apart from me. What are we doing now? Oh, so I really enjoyed that. I'm going to tell them. Really enjoyed that. Thanks. Because I did. So lots of people leaving, so we might look for another server. There seem to be a lot of people online tonight, so that's good. Just go quickly take a look at the stream. 6 of you watching at the moment, including Ben. 6. Oh. What happens if we get 3 6s? Does Satan turn up? What have we got going on here? I'm just looking at race department and I said that I want all of the new content now. And Emma said a small portion might or might not be late. I like that. It's very coy of you, Emma. Might or might not be late. You remind me of Eddie Izzard when he's talking about, you know, evil giraffes. You know, I may or may not eat all of the leaves on this tree. I made more leaves than I should, so that other giraffes may die, for I am an evil herbivore. W.T. Watkins say, hey, I was in that last race as Link Tick. Mate, very cool. I tell you what, mate, you're still in here by the looks of it. Link Tick 445. So are you still online then? Because I'm still online. I'm looking for people to race with. Where should we go? I'm going to jump out of here for a second and just see what else is available, you know. Flit about, you know, try some different styles, you know, check out some different cars, some different tracks, all of that kind of thing. Because AMS is great like that, because it's got shitloads of cars and tracks and stuff to try out. I love it. It's great. Literally a lifetime's worth in this sim. Oh, Hockenheim! There's some multi-class action going on at Hockenheim. Multi-class is a bit hit and miss, really, because there's, you know, you're not all on the same page. But sometimes it's just fun. In fact, there's 8 meters of qualifying going. I've got no idea what sort of a multi-class it is. I'm going to go and have a look, just for the hell of it. Oh, they've got DTMs in there. Why is it multi-class if it is just the DTMs? Let's go in there with the BMW in blue. I'm happy with that. Or no, should we have another look at another livery? No, I'm happy with Shaka. Reminds me of that Shabba Ranks from the 90s. Shabba. Only I'm Shaka. It's the lava. No, that's Shaggy, isn't it? Sorry, I'm old. My brain's gone to mush and forget things. Oh, there's loads of people in here. We just jumped straight into another server with what, 15 people in it. 6 minutes to go, and we're in a bloody race. Fantastic. 15-minute long race. That's pretty good. 13 laps of fuel. Well, we'll take that down because I've got 5 minutes left, so I'm not going to use that much fuel. Let's go and get used to the car. Oh, do you know what I've done? I've forgotten to do the switching on my shifter. This is H pattern, isn't it? So I'm gonna bloody well use H pattern. So I am. Oh, yes. Lovely old BMW DTM. These are fantastic, these are. Do you know when these first came out for Automobilista 2, I tried them and they were good fun, but at the same time I thought there's something wrong with these. I don't like it. And I got really, really angry and I thought, I don't like this, I'm going to really complain. Then I thought, no, I'm just being a dick. So I didn't complain. And I thought to myself, with Reese's track record, they'll probably fix it. You know, there's a little bit of a bug with them, or there's something not quite right about the handling. That'll probably be sorted in about 2 days. It wasn't. It was sorted in 1. I think they brought out a patch for it the next day. It was just like, try this out. We've just, you know, we want to give these to you early, but we thought this might make them a bit better. And, you know, then they were lovely. So if something comes out from them and it's a bit sort of, I really like this, but there's something not quite right, it's just like, wait a day. They don't sleep over at Reza. I think it's all the sunshine they get. Is Link Tick, are you coming back in? I didn't tell you what the server name was, did I? If you're watching the video, you can sing. You can sing? You can see. It's called Lobby. It's another session called Lobby. So, yeah, just look for, it's multi-class at Hockenheim. If you order the servers in order of how many players are in, it's near the top. I'll tell you what, it's going to be amazing when they get the... it's going to be interesting to see how Reza implement their rating system, because of course every different company's got a different way of doing it. I think ACC's is pretty damn fine. So it'd be interesting to see what they do and what it does for the multiplayer scene. I love R Factor, but it's got to be better than R Factors because that's still useless in terms of multiplayer unless you're in Elite. Because if you go and look at the servers, it doesn't matter that they've now got a new UI that still doesn't really work and that it looks a bit nicer. The only nice thing about it being that, you know, it's got the option of seeing whether there are AI on the track or not before you get in there. I wish this had that. That's the only thing. Other than that, it's still completely broken because it'll still display servers saying there's 100 people in this server, and you go, wow, 100 people in this public server, and you jump in, there's no one because that's completely broken. So there you go. There's something to hate about R Factor 2 because, as you all know, I hate sim racing. That's why I do it all the time. I like to moan and complain about it. And be disgruntled, generally disgruntled, because we're sim racers, and that's what we like to do. We like to get very disgruntled about everything. My turkey wasn't completely the way I liked it at Christmas, but that's fine with me. I'd rather complain about that small bit of rubber out on the track there that wasn't there. Of course, there's nothing wrong with being very picky about your sims. We're all after realism here. Oh, back end coming out a little bit there. Brilliant. I was watching a little bit. I found a video on YouTube today of Paul Whitehouse talking about David Bowie, and David Bowie's doing an impression of Paul Whitehouse. If anyone knows who or remembers who that is. He used to have that program on TV, The Fast Show, and he used to have this character who thought everything was brilliant. It was like playing sort of like sort of like a young adult who's just impressed by everything, thinks everything's brilliant, wearing a yellow jacket and a beanie cap, and just going on about how everything's brilliant. Like, it's like mobile phones, you put them to your ear and you can hear people from miles away. It's brilliant. Sim racing. Like, drive a car, but you're not driving a car. So, like, you crash, but you don't die, but you're going really fast. Brilliant! And David Bowie was doing an impression of Paul Whitehouse doing that. There you go. There's a good example of off-topic humour. Completely off-topic. Matthias Foxy. Like, very excited for the release of the new update. Yes, mate. I'm totally with you on that, Matthew. I am totally... like psyched for it. I'm probably getting overhyped because it'll probably come out with loads of bugs in it and it won't work properly, and then we'll all get really angry. And then we'll, go out and murder a pigeon, get drunk, inject heroin, and then the next day Reeves will go, oh, here's a patch that fixes all of that. We just wanted to give you a taster early, and we'll go, oh, what are we moaning about? It's fucking brilliant now. Brilliant! It's brilliant. Like, Reeves Studios work really hard, like. And bring out cars and stuff for thee. It's brilliant, FANATEC steering wheels. They got like force feedback and they're making all the bumps come out on the road. Brilliant. Webcams. They can point them at yourself and talk to people on net. Brilliant. Getting attention. A big narcissist like me. Brilliant. But yeah, I am absolutely psyched. I mean, what we got? We got Spa coming. We just got that in R Factor 2 and it was brilliant in R Factor 2. Now we've got it in this. For all that you want to say about anything with this sim, it is the prettiest sim in the world. Or at least one of them. And now we've got Laser Scan Spa coming for that. Brilliant! We've got the GT1s coming. We've got the GT2. I think they're coming for free as well. I mean, for God's sakes, Reza. You're not generous enough. Brilliant! Got that. We've got updated tyre physics coming to all of the cars. They're talking about... Oh, there we go. Qualifying's over. They're talking about... updating the physics on the old cars as well, which is great because we want all of the content to be the same standard. I'm sure it's going to be, consolidated very nicely like that. It's just all good, isn't it, really, Oh, we're starting, so we've got 15 minutes of racing. I reckon 12 laps. That's more than enough fuel that I'll need for 15 minutes. I can't be bothered to work that out because I'm thick. I can't look at my lap times. What was it? 2 minutes per lap time, which probably means I only need 7 laps of fuel. But I can't bother to go and change it now because I'm a really lazy bugger. Yeah. Not like these alien sim racers who work everything out to the 9th degree. Because I'm not on a league server. I'm just having fun at the moment. I'm having so much fun. I think there's lots of little hidden things in this game and in this engine. I think it's the reason that they got this engine off of Slightly Mad, because I think they saw potential in it and things that haven't been exploited. For instance, there's interesting things that I keep picking up, little clues of stuff going on under the hood with the damage, sound, and also things I'm picking up as I go around the track to do with the car and the track. And I think there's things I think we're going to be surprised at some of the features that will come through in this, you know. And maybe the force feedback will never ever be as good as R Factor 2. Maybe it'll just be almost as good. But then again, there'll be loads of stuff in this that it does better than R Factor 2. And then maybe R Factor 2's graphics will never be as good as this. But, you know, we'll love the... And you could say the same about ACC. You know, maybe that will always be the hardest game to run unless you have a computer given to you by NASA and powered with baby tears. I don't know. But I'm having lots of fun with all of them. Update to, I mean, what a great year we've had as sim racers. I mean, we've had the virtual 24 hours of Le Mans. Wow, what a thing that was. That was literally history being made. Oh, I just realised they were waiting for me. Oh, that tarmac, oh, not a good start either. Everyone's in a Mercedes. Oh, that guy's wheels are locked sideways there. That's a really bad ping thing going on, or some kind of bad bug. Oh, mate, come on! What the f was that? Totally annihilated my car. I know I was talking, but I was paying attention. I didn't slam into anyone there. Public servers, this is what you get. Shall I be vengeful and get them back? No, because I don't really know who it was or what happened. That's racing, isn't it? I seem to have lost my bonnet, but the car's still driving, so, you know. Maybe people didn't like it because I was sort of, you know, got such a good start. Oh, there we go. Someone else come off. We're not the only one. You're not the only one. What band am I thinking of? Filter. I'm not the only one. We're behind David Boot. If he gets in our way, we'll give him the boot. Not really. And we're at Hockenheim. I love Hockenheim. Here we are at Saturday's Corner with this lovely banking. Coming up to the sub-curve section. I just love this track. You know, out of all of these sort of flat tracks, I've got my tracks that I like with elevation track changes. I've got my short tracks that I like. I've got my long tracks that I like. And I've got my flat tracks that I like. And this is sort of a medium length flat track where everything... But it's got very, very subtle elevation changes to it, which I quite like. I do. Really enjoying using my H pattern here, and using all of the curb as we come down the parabolica. Might even get to use some slipstream. Come on, faster, faster, faster. Oh yeah, it's not the full parabolica because we're on the Hockenheim National, I think, or not Hockenheim Short, Hockenheim National. So that goes. That has a shortcut to the Mercedes grandstand here. Oh! Oh, mind those sausage curbs. Oh! I didn't do that very well, did I? Oh, I've still got people to my side, or are they behind me? They're behind me. like I said, it's one of my favourite tracks. This goes into relation to another thread on Race Department, where they posted a few interesting questions recently, like what area of the world are your favourite tracks in? You know, South America, Europe, and so on and so on. And I haven't answered that thread. I really wanted, because there's a poll on there. Oh no, I've got track limits because I slightly cut that corner. Track limits 1. Oh, crikey, mate. Whoa. Didn't see that coming. These guys just slammed on their brakes right in front of me. These people are nutcases. Who am I racing with? Hector. You're on YouTube, you know, mate. So yeah, I couldn't really answer it because I wanted to, but I can't pick a favourite place of racing. I mean, England, America. There's so many of them, and there's so many tracks that I love in different places. But what I did want to do, and I might still do this, is go onto that thread and not actually vote, and explain why I can't actually vote at the moment. But tell them that I am very, very impressed at the moment. Because obviously you're enamoured with different places at different times. And this is Hockenheim, this is in Germany, and I absolutely love it. And I love a lot of European tracks like Spa in Germany, A1, Red Bull, Spielberg, whatever you want to call it. And I'm really enamoured with Brazil at the moment, or South America. Because this sim, seeing as we're in it, we might as well talk about it, has introduced me to some tracks that I'd never heard of before, and I'm only just discovering some of them now. I never knew about Velocito or Velo Park, and I'm loving them. Like, Velo Park is one of my is going to be. I discovered it like in the last week or two, and it's oh shit! What was that now? What on earth? Why are people just getting to the line that these are not AI? I hope. No, they're not AI because there were loads of people in the lobby when I got there, so that's just getting very off-putting. Let's see what happens on the third lap. Maybe this is a game people are playing in the server. Oh, here's one thing that I really, really, really like about AMS2, and it's been carried. It's an idea that I saw in GTR2, which I really like because not many other sims do it at all. If you have a prang at your front end, you can see now that I've turned my lights on. You can see all the interior lights come on, but there's no exterior lights because guess what? I've pranged my front end, so my lights are all smashed up and gone. And I think that's really important because lights are a fucking important thing on a car. You know, like wing mirrors. If you lose your wing mirrors, that's puts you at a bit of a disadvantage. And GTR2 had that, so you'd have to go and get them fixed. And it happens in this. So I've got no front lights now. So if it gets really dark, I'm kind of screwed, and it does look like they've got the day to night transition sped up a little bit in this race. Right, let's see what these cars do. Are they all doing that slowdown thing that those guys just did? Yes, look at that! What is that all about? Oh, it's this Hector guy again. Right. I don't think that's very nice, and I know I'm live on a server, and vengeance is the downfall of every man. I think we'll just make a point here. Shall we? Just sort of make a point. See if he does it to me. His name badge is gone, so is it AI or is it a real person? It definitely is, he's got a terrible ping. So if that's the way he likes to race, which is blatantly doing that deliberately. You know, if he deems that okay to race that way, then it's fine if we race that way. That's fair, isn't it? You know, fair is fair. You're going to race like that. everyone else can race like that with you. So let's go say hi. Hello, Hector. He's going to slam on his brakes in a minute. Look at his front wheel all bent the wrong way. That's the ping thing, because his ping is terrible. And his wheel's knackered from a bit of a prang, I think. I want to see this. He's going to do it again when we get to the straight here. Do I have a plan for this? Got a plan for coping with this. If we get right on his back bend, so we're right up on his bumper, then if he brakes, theoretically we're sort of already there. There's no room for us to slam into it. Yeah, he's done it again, so there we go. Ah, there you go. It didn't work that time, did it, old Hectory boy? But it knocked me off. There you go. You see, vengeance is the downfall of vengeful men. Don't be vengeful, kids. Let's catch him up again. Just keep saying hello. Or let's see how many other people he does it to. Or if he does it when there's no one behind him. I'm just so intrigued about what's going on here now. It's getting very dark. Too dark to see. Some song lyrics there as well. Feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Are you with me? Ah! Linktick did make it into the session. He's just left. I didn't know he was in here. Maybe he'll come on the YouTube in a bit and he'll go, did you see that nutcase Hector on the track? And I go, yeah, I did. He was a nutcase. And I go, yeah, he was a nutcase. Or maybe, you know, he had a fine race and just decided I'm bored now, I'm going to give up. Because I hate Automobilista 2 and Simracing. Why do I do it to myself? Ah, into the corner. Really damaging my reputation as a very serious sim racer, because of course I've always been very, very serious. So this guy's just slowed down massively there as well. So what is going on here? I've not run into this behaviour ever yet. There really is some odd behaviour going on in this server. There's Hector. These cars rev so high, you've got to change all the way down into first at corners like that. Because there's so much range even in first. Get into second, you've got no acceleration because the gear's too high to pull out of. Oh, this is a challenge. I'm racing with just the track lighting now. It's a good job that at least part of this track is quite well lit. We'll use Hector's lights to guide our way. You know, just be wary of him when we get to the main arena straight. Ping at 370. Possibly going to be explaining some of the weird behaviour that's going on here. So look, we're gonna make sure we're completely away from him, and look at that! Isn't that weird? Just braking there for no reason. Hector is an AI. Hector cannot be human. Maybe I wasn't looking at the lobby when I jumped in here. Oh, hello! Watkins didn't have the DLC, laugh out loud. Oh, mate. Well, I mean, that's the thing with this new update that they're doing. Oh, my God. Got no light at all. That's the thing with this new DLC that they're doing. You know, it won't matter when you're online if you don't have the DLC very soon. Because because you can still jump into a server online even if you don't have the DLC. It just means you can't have the track when and where you want it in single player or host it yourself. So this is why what Reaser are doing is I'm looking the wrong way again. The camera's over here. That's why I think what Reaser are doing is a very clever and very savvy idea. Very clever and very savvy indeed. Savvy? Tell I've been watching too much Pirates of the Caribbean. I wanted you to know, mate. I was always rooting for you. Savvy? Hey! With a little sausage curve there. Is he gonna? He's gonna do his little slowdown thing again. Yeah. Oh, drifting round the corner, loving it. Yeah, brake lights come on, slows right down. It's all a weird bug, isn't it? Let's stick with Hector here. Keep him company. Now, has anyone encountered a bug like that at Hockenheim, where these cars slow down at the start? I've never seen that. Not seen that with any of the cars there. I might have to go. I might have to, you know, because I'm making light and jovial of all of this at the moment, but I am quite anal when it comes to stuff like that. If I notice something like that, I will spend, if I've got a couple of hours, I'll spend it trying to find out if that fault happens with just that car and that track in that situation. You know, if maybe it just happens at night, or you know, does it only happen when there's so many cars on track, or does it only happen when so much, you know, the exact situation? Then try it in different situations, like same track but with another car, or same car and track but slightly different weather, and see what affects it. Is it, you know, is it an AI thing? Is it a car physics thing? You know, I do get very, very, very anal about it because I'm at heart an actual serious sim racer. So I will be on the forums later going, I'm really hungry. Oh, nearly up on 2 wheels. I love it. How are we doing here actually? What's going on? We've got position 13 out of 16 and we've got no time left. That's the end of the race complete. Well, we do have to still cross the line. Oh, I need Hector's lights because I can't see in front of me. Oh, he made a good pass there. Yeah, I will go offline and do a practice race here with these cars in these conditions. And see what happens on that main straight there. Because I tell you, I've been having great offline racing when you know, the AI has still got work to be done on them, but I am having great racing with them. So that is something that might need to be looked into, or it might just be a particular fault on this particular day at this particular car because it's AI with a mixture of real people. I know that there's real people been in here because our mate came in earlier. Linked. And so there we go. That's the end of everything. No, COVID-19 is the end of everything. Oh my god! Oh my god, look at the state of my car! I didn't know there was damage like this in here. Christ, I haven't seen that damage on these cars. That's really quite impressive. It's because I rolled it. My word, look at that. Talking of damage whilst I get out of the server. Talking of damage, I think there's some hidden gems in terms of damage. Jamming. Where's my guitar? Jamming. I think there's some hidden gems in terms of damage. I think possibly possibly. It's just, you know, something I think could happen, or I think might. I get the feeling that this game engine, or, you know, Reader is capable of doing, is introducing some. It definitely was AI in there. Yeah. I think that we might see more advanced damage, stuff like broken gears. When you miss a gear, you can't get into a certain gear. Before we jump into another server, I'm just going to go and sort out my shifter so I can use sequential mode as well. So I have to jump out for a second of the game, so screen's going to go a bit blank. I think that could get more interesting. What I would like to see Reader do is because we've got, at the moment, we've got several damage settings. We've got visual, we've got performance impacting, and we've got full. But I still don't think there's realistic damage as in you drive your car into a wall. If you drive your car into a wall at even, you know, sort of 50 miles an hour, that's pretty much game over. It's not like that yet. There is some really good performance impacting damage, but I think could have more serious effects on it for nutcases like me. We'll let AMS2 load up again. What's going on at race department? Oh, someone's quoted one of me posts at race department. So someone asked a question earlier, a dumb question, but when is it supposed to be released, this new content? Sometime tomorrow. And I said, I'm betting on tomorrow, yeah. But I want it now! And someone's quoted that, so let's see what they've written. Trumpet Reich has said in reply to that, I want it now, but I'm glad they're waiting. There was so much backlash over things being released too soon. Earlier, brackets, criticism I agreed with. Remember Bathurst? Without proper textures? Close brackets. Then they made the big decision to start waiting longer. That was a huge moment, in my opinion, and I'm proud of them for doing it. Let us wait. Much better to have content drop when it's ready. Yeah, fair point there, Trumpet Reich. Rich, fair point, yeah. I like that. And I'm happy for it to drop a day later. I just feel like they might have decided, you know, New Year's Eve, that's when we'll drop it. You know, they might be playing us. They might actually have it completely polished. But they might not. They might, you know. But I like that. So I'm going to like his post. So there we go. What's going on now? Are we back in Automobilista 2? We're back in Automobilista 2. Right, I tell you what. Seeing as this is my stream and I can do what I want. I can do what I want, right, in my live stream, right? I can do what I want. Let's go. Let's not do the multiplayer thing. Let's check out. Let's go and check out. Because the joy of technology, we literally do anything like. Let's go to Hockenheim, where we just were. Let's get the cars that we just had. We'll go out in a BMW, and we'll have the Mercedes in there as well. So we want same class. So we've got both the Mercedes and the BMW, because on track the same. It was Mercedes that kept crashing. Skill level opponent level 97. Yeah, that's fine. Let's have 29 cars on track. Let's see if that problem that we were having happens now. We'll turn off qualifying. We'll go straight into a race. We'll have a 15-minute race, because you never know. I might really, you know, I might really like it and just want to finish the race with the AI. Never know, do you? We'll stick it at 7 o'clock in the evening, so it's getting dark, because it was quite dark then. In fact, it was getting into night time. Looked like the weather was sped up, so yeah, let's do that. Why not? Weather, or time rather, progression was sped up. So let's speed that up. We'll go 5 times for the sake of something or other. Yeah, so we'll start a bit early. We'll go to 6 o'clock then. Real weather, well, normal clear weather, because it was clear there. So let's do some bug investigation. Sounds like something David Attenborough wouldn't it? Yeah. Bug investigation. We find the bugs in their insexual form in the computer, hiding beneath the megabytes and the gigabytes in between capacitors, nestling there, ready to make themselves known in the software to anger form trolls, who will then feed upon these bugs and release their vitriolic tendencies and poisons and stings upon the unwitting public, their prey, the forum dwellers. Stop doing David Attenborough, get on with it. Standing start, formation lap, no, let's just get out there. Stupid boy. Yeah, this might be loads of fun. Whilst that's loading, look at the stream thing. 5 concurrent viewers. There's still 5 of you watching it. Who are you, crazy people? Very quiet, 5 of you. Don't say anything in the chat. You're watching me from afar, as if you weren't really there. I see your game, your secretive lot, ready to pounce on me. Talking of things that pounce on you and prey and insects. I saw a film about sort of natural but unnatural, fictional natural things, sort of fantastical natural things. I watched earlier today, How to Tame Your Dragon. I didn't watch it, I didn't mean to watch it, the TV was on and I was in front of it and I'd come down to lay on the couch and just lay down and that was on, and I guess it was sort of like, you know, a quarter of the way through and I sat down, I was like, oh, this is some kids movie that I've heard of, you know, it looks quite generic. And I was sitting there watching it, and I got really into it. I really like it. I really like How to Train Your Dragon. It's brilliant. I love the I want a dragon friend now. I want dragon friend. I do. Right, 15 minutes. 12 laps of fuel is what we had last time. I'll put more in, I don't know. Let's go. Racing! How much fun can we... I didn't do my gear thing. So I've got my sequential, but I don't... I've got my H-PAM, I don't have my sequential sorted out. Should have put the skill level up, because these guys are far too slow off the line. Good through the first corner, though. Really good. No problems there. Remember when Hockenheim first came out? Didn't matter what car you were in, you couldn't get through that first corner without getting pranged. But they've really improved the AI since then. Not perfect by any means, but they're so much more improved. Can't wait till they improve them a bit more. I've made a mistake. It's not the exact same track, because we've gone to the full version of Hockenheim, and it was, of course, Hockenheim National. So that gives me an excuse now to quickly shut down the game. There we go, game's gone. And I can put me FANATEC settings how I want them. So I'll do that quickly. Map sequential shifter to paddles. We've done that, it's really good. Start up again, AUTOMOBILISTA. Hang on, I'm in a sing-songy mood. I've gone to pick up a friend. And yeah, we need to make sure we get the national version this time. So single player, pick the right track this time, Paul. You dickhead. You stupid boy. Hockenheim National, we got it right this time. Hockenheim National. We'll find all the bugs, all the bugs, all the bugs with the AI. As you'll have probably guessed if you've just joined the stream, this is an extremely professional nutcase. randomly playing guitar whilst Simracing like a nutcase. And we're off! And I completely screwed up the gear change there. Can I squeeze right down the inside there? Dare I do it? I dare do it. I am that daring. Look at how daring I am. Oh, come on. Oh, look at that car backwards. I guess I did do a bit of a dive down the inside there, to be fair. But most of the hour getting through fine, but one car ending up backwards, that's quite fun to see. I see them make the odd mistake. We don't want completely infallible AI. Don't want them to do that all the time either. Thankfully I can say that they don't. Oh, I left the braking too late. Oh, back end coming out a little bit there. Oh, that was close. And if it had been any closer, it would have been totally my fault, I must say. Right. So let's see what happens. Sun pretty low in the sky. Got 5 times time acceleration going on, so it should get lower. Don't know if we'll make it all the way into night though. I don't know if I put enough time acceleration. I don't think I have. But enough so at least the shadows should get long. And it was, you know, sunny in that server when we started. Right, let's see what happens. Okay, so yeah, as I said earlier when we were in that server, I've not seen the AI do what they were doing in that server before. If indeed they really were AI, which I think they were. But they are not doing it here, so it looks like it was just specific to that server. So there you go. Happy to say that that is not a bug of any sort. We've got one on our outside. That's a Mercedes. You hear what I did there? I called it a Mercedes because I wanted to put my own spin on the name and make it mine. You know, rather than call it, I wanted to personalise the name of Mercedes to make it the way I say it. Because that's the way I say it. I say Mercedes, yeah. And because I've decided that the Mercedes is a really hard gangster, and if you mess with it, he's a really hard London gangster, and if you mess with him, he will like murk you, innit? Whee! Oh, sideways round Sassas is so sideways. We've completely turned the car around. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Sorry about that, folks. I'm a crap driver. Come on, Paul, try. If you're watching this and thinking, why does he keep calling himself Paul? Isn't his name Tarmac Terrorist? On the internet, in racing sims, I'm called Tarmac Terrorist. In Haverhill, just outside of Cambridge, I'm called Tarquin. In certain parts of Cambridge, I'm called Hobbit Boy. In Norwich, I used to be called Bouncy Paul. And generally, I'm known as Curly Head Annoying Twat. So, yeah. And I've not really raced with this lot since they updated the AI for these cars. Because I don't know if you remember, but another, you know, small gripe, little small bug thing that people complained about when these cars came out is that they were far too slow compared to the other AI. They're not anymore! So I could have done with putting them down to 95 or possibly 90 Cs. If I'm racing and I'm concentrating and I'm not talking to people, I'm fully concentrating, I'm okay at about this level or 95 to start up with, then I start upping them. But I find if I'm talking I have to take them down further than that. And they're certainly not too slow, but they were very slow off the line. They still are, the DTMs, a bit slow off the line, seeing as they're now completely outrunning me. but I was able to take them so easily on the line. Mind you, that is, you know, a general AI problem with a lot of sims. So you sometimes think that the AI in sims and in computer games in general is an actual test, you know. Computer games are not actually made by people who are just passionate about making fun games. They're actually made by... I'm going to get my tinfoil hat on for this because it's fun. They're actually made by a secret branch of the CIA who infiltrate the game developers, get involved with making the AI, and then implement certain AI tactics to see if they can learn from the humans. But they deliberately put in these little faults that they make to make us think, you know, that they're not that clever. But in fact, they are taking over the world from under our noses. Yeah, I've got to say, this is brilliant. This is the best news, right? I can't keep up with these guys and talk to you guys at the same time. I'm really chuffed about that because the AI in this sim goes from on level 97, you can go all the way up to 120. And I think you can go down to about like 60 or 70 at lowest. That's great because it means that I've got to go down. I've got to step them down to something like 90 or something. Gradually work my way back up. I'll probably plateau at about 100. And if I ever get any better, then I've got 20% more to go, which is great. It means I'll be playing this game forever and I'll probably never get to 120% skill level. Unless I found like the perfect setup. Oh, look at that. The sun's going down. It's so pretty. Anyway. Oh! There's still an AI behind us! Oh, that was the AI that got spun! When we first started! He got spun right at the start, do you remember? Oh! That's taken me on to... I was going to go back and do some multiplayer, but now I want to catch up with him. Right, I'm going to get serious now. Plus, I'm just really enjoying driving this car. Where's he going to brake? 100 metre board. 100 metre? 100 foot board. Yeah! Didn't quite get me braking right there. These things rev to 10,000 revs. Crazy, crazy cars. Brilliant Nordschleifer. What a great version of Nordschleifer in this. You know, we're complete now. We've got Nordschleifer in AC, we've got Nordschleifer in R Factor 2, and we've got Nordschleifer in Automobilista 2. We're spoiled rotten, us sim racers, we really are. Oh, and by the way, does anyone over at Race Department know if, you know, the latest fake news about GTR 3? I mean, come on. How many times have we heard that old chestnut? I've joined the Discord server, though. The GTR 3 Discord server. I followed every story on that for a good 2 years, hoping and praying that was actually coming out, you know, because I love GTR 2 so much. And, you know, I see those after, what is it, 3 years now? I just, yeah, whatever, you know. If it happens, it happens, and it'll be great, but I don't trust it anymore. But mind you, I love GTR because it's such a complete sim. And I think that's why I'm liking this one so much. I mentioned earlier that, you know, if you have a front end smash, you lose your headlights, and that happened in GTR 2. Also, you had really good damage in GTR 2, really good damage. Bits came off, bits dented, you could lose your lights, blow your engine up. And this has got that, although I do think they should go beyond full damage mode and introduce realistic damage mode, where literally, you know, you smack a wall and that's it. It's race ending, not just sort of like, oh, the steering's gone a bit wonky. I'd like to see more severe damage, but this is like that, and you've got the God rays, the weather, the sun effects like you had. It's reminded me a little bit of GTR 2, even though there are tons of cars in this which are nothing like the cars in GTR 2. And that's what I like about this. This has got GT3s in it, but it's also got just all sorts of stuff. I can't keep up with these cars here. Let's go see what's going on in multiplayer. It is... What time at night is it now? 6 concurrent viewers? Can't be 6 people watching me, for God's sakes. Don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. Oh my God, it's gone 10 in the morning. I've had so much fun on Automobilista today. I've been streaming for about another 2 hours again. And it's gone midnight. Brilliant. Brilliant. Simracing. Keeps you up all night. Makes you tired and baggy under the eyes. Brilliant. Right. Go away. Web pages. I want Automobilista 2 back. Let's see what the multiplayer scene is like in Automobilista 2 at gone midnight. 12 minutes past the 12th hour. There's 16 people in a server immediately at Imola in GT3s. But they've got 9 laps remaining of their race. So we're not going to go and race there, but I will show you one little feature that I love. Hang on. With this sim. Right, I'm going to join it anyway. Because you can join and spectate. I know you can do that in quite a lot. You can do that with R-Factor 2, but it's just a great feature. Because, you know, when you're looking for a race and you're like, you know, quite impatient, you've only got... a little bit of time, you wouldn't bother with that. But if you've got a day off, you know, and you're just thinking, I'm going to go racing today, and you want to, you search for a server and you realise like, the settings that server's got, but it's, you know, they're in the middle of a race, and you think, well, I've got 15 minutes, I can sit around and wait, and rather than just be bored, you can go in to the server and you can watch the racing. So this is going on live at the moment. That's who's in second position. That's Alex Deleu, 85. And he's obviously quite a clean racer because look at his car, it's pristine. Should we see? So far, these 3 cars here. So that's Linktick 445 who was watching the stream earlier. His car's nice and pristine. The Porsche in front is nice and pristine, so they're way out there. In fourth, just coming around the bend there, and that's Rope. Internet names are so weirdly spelt. There's a Porsche behind here. They're all pristine. W. Korea is pristine. There you go. We've taken 8 cars to find a car that's slightly damaged. It's quite dented. Shaking about a bit as well, but we are on the internet, you know, so that could be just a connection thing. He is looking a little bit bent out of shape, right? Everyone else, though. Oh, check that out! TTTV Junior Hom Dominic having a proper little slide there. But yeah, and there's who's in last. Person in last got no scratches and dents, so there's only one person that's got scratches and dents. So looks like a really good clean racing server, this one. Oh. Alex Deleu, 85 there, let's get his lights on. Anywho. We can't get in there for at least another good 7 laps, so let's see what else is available. La da da. Dun, dun, dun. Said the crazy man with the guitar and the sim racing hobby. Chris, public race. Pro car. I like the pro cars. I was in this server the other night. Should we see if we can join it? Maybe? Can we actually? Yes, we can join it. Yes! We're going racing with pro cars. And we're going to have a nice bright orange livery. Because I like orange and blue. And this car looks quite good in orange. Very 70s. It's not... 70s. Yeah, very 70s. And a car from, you know, sort of around that era. Oh, it's such a great car, isn't it? Oh, I haven't driven this in a while, actually. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. I haven't driven this since the new tyre update. There is so many cars in here that I haven't driven this one since the new tyre update. Oh, yes. Oh, and it's Imola, and I absolutely adore Imola. So, thank you, Chris, Public Race. Let's get out there. Oh, yeah. Folks, I'm a happy bunny. I am a happy bunny. But I'm going to need to adjust my HUD and give myself, for the lack of peripheral view, because I can't see me side mirrors, I'm going to give myself a virtual central mirror. There we go. So save that. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. And it's a manual pit, so I better remember, always remember in Automobilista 2 when pulling out of the pits, first thing you do, turn your pit limiter on. Because it's not on by default. And I can use me H shifter again, because it's that kind of car. Oh, brilliant. Now, yeah, just checking everything's working. Oh, I do like this car so much. Oh, and I've recently changed my brake pedal, so it's not quite the same feel that it used to be, and I'm going to blame that on, I'm going to blame the fact that I just span on that, because a really good workman always blames his tools rather than, you know, that totally wrong saying that a terrible workman blames his tools. It's definitely the car's fault. It's nothing to do with me and my driving, it's the brake pedal. I've always found this car, I found this when I first started driving it in the original R Factor, when it was out as a mod, a very good mod, and I found it in other sims since, that it's quite understeery, you know, depending on, unless you go and set it up. I've got to do a bit of setup work to stop that, but it is quite understeery. But it will also oversteer if you give it, you know, quite a lot of welly on the back end. It's quite a well balanced car. And Peter Stern is back. My mate Pete's back. He says, "Oh no, you're back." Oh no, yeah I am. And oh no, you're here now. Peter Stern. Pete's here. How's it? Pete's in Cambridge, and I'm very shocked to see you up, mate, because you're not usually up at this time. Have you had a late afternoon nap and you've woken up at midnight and decided, oh, I've said that, I'm not going back to bed, I'm actually going to do some sim racing? Is that the case? Because you've certainly not been, or have you been up all night on Microsoft Flight Sim? Pete, like me, loves sim racing, and he also likes simulations in general. Which includes flying planes, and you have flown a plane, haven't you? A real plane at one point. Pete, oh, there we go. Been sleeping. I knew it! He's been asleep. And now you've woken up and you want to come sim racing. in Automobilista 2, because I know how much you love Automobilista 2. Pete's been having problems with Automobilista 2 recently. So I'm just winding him up. But it is Imola, and I know you do really love Imola. I was, after my live stream earlier that you were involved in, mate, I had some dinner, because as you know I didn't eat all day. And then I sort of fell asleep. Oh, no, I didn't fall asleep, but I almost sort of fell asleep. I went into the lounge to lay down because I was in a bit of a food coma. Not that I had a massive dinner, it's just I hadn't eaten all day. And I relaxed on the couch, and what was it came on that I was talking about earlier? How to Tame Your Dragon. I ended up watching that. I really like it, and now I want a pet dragon. So I was watching that, and then my dad wanted to watch a film, and then he didn't. So I was willing to do that, even though I'd already made the decision that I had so much fun doing the live stream earlier. I was doing it. I'd do it again. So then he didn't. I just thought, right, I'm just going to go and live stream again, just for the hell of it. So I'm back live streaming completely unprofessionally. I'm just driving around. I don't really care who the hell's watching. Oh, and I've been on Race Department and had quite a good laugh. There's a really bitchy thread going on, so I got involved with that. Not in a bitchy way, I didn't contribute to the bitchiness. I actually had a bit of a laugh with someone who was deciding whether or not to buy some software. And made a joke about the Steam sale, which one of the moderators quite liked. Hang on, Pete, what's that? What do you mean? He's typed, been sleeping, the next thing he typed was, and the car. Oh, you like the track and the car? Ah. Oh! Trying to read and drive at the same time is putting me all over the place. So that means Pete's coming in here. I bet he's coming in now. Let's see if we get a notification that Pete's joined the race. This car feels even better than it used to. And as I said, I haven't tried it since the last sort of little physics update. And then very, very shortly, possibly tomorrow, we're going to have another one. Another update. So it should start feeling even better. Not that it feels bad now. This is great. Can't say the same about my driving. Let this fella past. Let's get some slipstream going on. Christian Anfall, who's in 16th place. I've got no idea what place we're in because I'm not looking at my HUD. I'm just enjoying driving. It's too much at the moment. Don't look up. Oh, this car is fantastic. Look at how wide it is. In fact, actually, guess what, folks? If there's anyone watching, check this out. I'm driving the car that I've got a little Scale Electrics model of sitting right next to me. Look! I've got a BMW M1 right here! My old Scale Electrics car. I'm that sad. Pete says, I look forward to an update. It might be more drivable. Ah, Pete's being a whinger. He only can't drive it because he keeps crashing. It's like, you do realise, Pete, it's only because you've jumped out of one sim that you've been driving a lot recently, and you jumped into another one and gone, oh, I can't drive this because it feels different. I jumped back into, for a long time I've raced nothing else other than R Factor 2, and now recently I've been, really divulging myself into a lot of Automobilista and quite a bit of ACC as well. And I didn't touch R Factor 2, strangely enough, for a good week. And I jumped back into R Factor 2 and it felt completely undrivable as well, because it's just like, not undrivable, well yeah, actually one of the Porsches did. And it was because, it was, you know, I was driving the same car that I've got in this as well, but I just got used to driving it in this, and it's got a different feel. I find all of the sims, if you drive the same car at the same track, right, in each one, so say you've got Assetto Corsa, Automobilista 2, ACC, Assetto Corsa Competizione, and R Factor 2, they have all got Nürburgring GP, and they've all got a Porsche GT3, and you can drive that exact same car in each one at the exact same track, and they all feel quite similar. The sims are getting more and more realistic, so naturally each car in each sim, the more realistic they get, should feel more the same if they're to be deemed as accurate. But they are all getting more similar, but they're also all still quite different. It's a bit like driving a different version, you know, of the same car. So like, if you imagine if you had sort of a Porsche 911, the actual Porsche brought out, and you got into the real Porsche 911, and then you got into a slightly different version of it, with slightly different tyres and slightly different suspension setup. You know, they've all got their little foibles. Foibles! Oh, by the way, for anyone that's just picked this video up, I am very serious sim racer, and I make some very serious sim racing videos. Very serious indeed, yes. But this is me doing a live stream at Christmas, so I don't give a flying fuck. And I'm just having fun. So, you're wondering why I'm not being serious? It's Christmas, and it's a ridiculous year. We're all in lockdown. And I just thought, you know, I just broadcast my live stream, and if you don't like it, why are you watching it? Oh look! Sun's going down. Oh, I love this. Me and Pete, we once did an hour race at this track, in fact, with the time cycle set to times 25. So literally 25 hours went past in 1 hour. So we literally, and we did it in VR, and we watched the sun go down and come back up again. We've got to do that again, Pete. That was quite beautiful. It really was. Is it dark enough now? And you know, Pete's now saying, oh, you know, if the next update comes, maybe that'll make it drivable. He was loving it when we did that. He's just as bad as me. We change our minds every 5 minutes. We did have a good time doing that, didn't we, Pete? It was bloody beautiful. So I think, like we did then, we had to use our lights, and I think I'm gonna do the same now. Here come my lights. Whee! And look at that! Pop-up lights! I love that about this. Do you see that? The lights just popped up there. Oh! Got a ghosted car going down the... Luckily he was ghosted, because if he'd been solid, he'd gone straight into me. This is a practice session, I think, so... Let's do that again with the lights. Just watch those pop-up lights at the front there. Watch. Yeah! Yeah, there we go! Little things please me. I'm a very simple hobbit tarmac terrorist. Oh, got some more chat, but I can't look because I'm coming up to a corner, plus it's dark, so I've really got to pay attention to the way. That's probably Pete saying something. I'll be on a straight in 3, 2, 1. Now I can look. That was before they messed it up with the update. Pete, I really don't know, mate, what you're going on about with things being messed up with the update. I can't. There is. I don't. There's a big split in the community over this, I know, and everyone's got different opinions. But I think the cars are driving better than they've ever driven. They really are. You got your force feedback settings wrong, mate, I'm telling you. I mean, this car in particular feels better than it ever has done. But that's just my humble opinion. So why, Pete? Qualify that. Why? Why do you think that? Why? Why? You know? Why? Why that statement? Why? Oh, go on and race. Come on, Pete, I need an answer. I need you to expand upon your opinion. This is a very serious debate forum, you know. How should they handle, then? I mean, this car really isn't handling much different to how it did after the last update. It's just, it feels, the tyres feel better, you know. Plus, you've never driven one of these. I've never driven a BMW M1. But I've driven cars, and this generally feels like a car. I don't. Oh my god, they're completely different from any other sim. Well, no, they're not, Pete. That's just. Oh, mate. Public servers, they will always. Yeah. Well done, matey boy. I'm gonna brake and hold you up now. There you go. You're gonna drive into me like that. What a fool. Oh, someone else has joined in the debate here. This is good. Watkins said... Hang on, I've got to get on the straight. I came from iRacing and almost every car feels more sluggish and heavier than there. So Watkins, do you think they've every car feels sluggier, more sluggish, I can't speak properly. More sluggish and heavier than every car in iRacing, right? Have I got that right? Well, every car in iRacing feels more sluggish and more heavier than it does in AMS2. Peter Stern, don't get me started on iRacing. No, don't get him started on iRacing. But literally, don't get Pete started on any of this, because I tell you what, Pete, it could take until tomorrow and Pete will be completely in love with Automobilista 2 and hate all of the other sims. And it will be completely about turn to what he's saying today. Pete's like that, he does that. You know you're like that, Pete. One thing that is quite consistent with Pete, Pete likes Kunos. Pete likes Kunos. Always has done. He likes Assetto Corsa, and he now really likes ACC. Hated R Factor 2 and R Factor for a long while. Loved AMS1 and then didn't love it. He's done the same thing, so he's changed his mind, and that didn't even have updates. So, and yes, Pete, all the cars in this feel different to all the cars in other sims. All the cars in R Factor feel different to all the cars in ACC to a certain degree. Watkins said everything feels more sluggish in AMS. I would agree with that because it's like if I compare the force feedback in R Factor to the force feedback in this, R Factor's just a little bit tighter force feedback, you know. You know, there is a slightly more rubbery feel, I guess you could say, to the handling of this. Pete says it's when you hit the grass, it's like ice. In AMS, it's ridiculous. Really? Because, hang on. So it's nothing to do with the car's handling until they get onto the grass. Well, let's just test that theory. Grass is like ice. I'm on the grass now, doing 72 miles per hour. Doing 72 miles per hour on the grass there, and a little bit slippery, but I was doing 72 bloody miles an hour on slick tyres, and I got through that alright, so can't agree with you on that, Pete. Plus, they updated the grass, you know. That's one of the things that they've made the grass less bouncy in the last updates. Hit the grass there as well. I will agree with you though, Pete, on the point that it is, say, you know, a bigger difference hitting the grass in this, and slightly more unnatural as well than hitting the grass in R Factor 2. So I agree with you on that. Watkins said, I thought the grass was pretty forgiving in the GT3s. Yeah. Interesting that you've jumped in with this about iRacing, Mr. Watkins, because iRacing is another sim that Pete's not too enamoured with, and I've never tried it because of the stories I've heard about it. But a lot of people call it ice racing and say that the tyre, you know, this is including the professional drivers who have spoken about it as well. They've said, you know, I've not had a go in it yet, and I am someone who remembers the original Papyrus NASCAR 2003 and own it, still a hard copy of it on disc. So it's not that I don't want to try it, but I've heard people say that the tyre model in iRacing is just completely unforgiving. You get into a slight slide and there's absolutely no margin for error at all. As soon as you get into the slide, you're gone. But then again, I have seen people doing some quite impressive drifting in iRacing. I've seen videos of that. So what are your thoughts on that, Mr. Watkins? And how would you sort of compare, say, I don't know, R Factor 2's tyre physics and force feedback to iRacing? I'll keep an eye on the comments, see what you say about that. Oh, bits of car absolutely everywhere. I will say, with Automobilista 2, I've kind of fallen in love with it for what it is. I do feel it's more forgiving than, say, R Factor 2. I find some of the handling in certain cars, not necessarily the GT3s, similar to some of the handling characteristics in ACC, which is going to sound very weird and controversial, but also very different to ACC as well, if that makes any sense. You know, there are very finite aspects. But I find it more forgiving than both in general than say ACC and R Factor 2. I do find it more forgiving. You know. I guess it's just that I like the way that this drives. I like the way that this drives, and I like the way that R Factor 2 drives, and I like the way that ACC drives. I didn't like the way that Assetto Corsa drove for a while until I got it set up right. Pete will tell you that, because Pete actually bought me a Assetto Corsa as a present, which was very nice of him, and I liked it for a lot of reasons, but I couldn't get used to the driving feel until funnily enough, until I changed a few things with the View and discovered a couple of force feedback settings in there that I needed to change. And now, of course, especially with a much better wheel, because I'm on a different wheel now, it feels absolutely brilliant. But even before I got the new wheel, it was feeling absolutely brilliant because I found the right or magic settings. You know, you can have a sim for years. If you got it set up wrong, you'd be like, that sim's rubbish, I hate it. And then years down the line, someone will show you something and you go, oh, this sim's actually really good, and I didn't realise because all my settings were wrong. You know, it could be a really small thing as well. People are typing. Let's have a look. Pete Stern says, I will come back to AMS2 when they fix it. Yeah, but the thing is, Pete, since the last update, like, the grass has got better and the handling's got better, so I don't know what you mean when you say fix what exactly? What is it suddenly made you hate it so much? Because Watkins says, I do think that iRacing is more unforgiving. Oh God, when it comes to, I'm going to pay attention to the other people on track here. I do think that iRacing is more unforgiving when it comes to tyre wear. But when iRacing did the IndyCar Pro Series, a lot of pros complained about the lack of grip. And I had a hard time as well. Yeah, I heard that. Watkins also said, but recently they had a big update and it feels tons better. Alright, that's good to hear. But how does it feel in comparison to, say, R Factor, which I can, you know, it's a sim I'd go for the best feeling in terms of force feedback. And in a certain way, tyre physics as well. Oh! Oh! Lovely little bit of sideways action, just caught the slide there. Watkins says he hasn't played enough R Factor 2 to really say anything. Fair enough, mate. I think, you know, with AMS2, I'm just really enjoying it as a full package, I think. I like the way it's shaping up as a full package. I think there's something I really like about the force feedback in this slightly rubbery feel, but then again, if it had that plus the general accuracy and feel of, say, R Factor 2, oh my god, it would be perfect, you know. And I guess I'm maybe more forgiving with Automobilista 2 because I just generally like it as the full packet. You know, I've played Project Cars 2, which is where the engine comes from, and I wasn't very impressed, to be fair, although it's a mixed bag. And I will say, and I kind of don't want to say it as well a little bit, but it is, you know, there are things that are, with the handling with this, slightly over-exaggerated when it can, you know, if you compare it to something like R Factor 2. There are aspects of the force feedback and the handling which are exaggerated. But I'm just really enjoying it as the whole package. And the other thing is, I guess I'm more forgiving of it because I see how fast. I mean, the one thing that you got to agree, you have to agree with on AMS2 is the speed, the sheer speed that Reza update this title, and it, you know, they have consistently. Oh my God! Whoa! Oh, okay. Cars upside down all over the place because we have finished the race, of course, and I hadn't even noticed. And I didn't come last, even though I've been talking all the way through. Yeah, I guess I'm more forgiving because of the speed that they keep updating it and making it better. I mean, even if I was to completely agree with Pete that the last update ruined the game, they've done thousands of updates and they've all got better. So if one update they make a mistake in, that's a pretty good track record, you know. It's a pretty. Keep looking the wrong way. It's a pretty good, damn good track record. So I kind of forgive it because I got faith it'll just keep getting better and better. But yeah, do I think it'll ever reach the level of force feedback? Say if we take one aspect of the game that R Factor's got, probably not. But I don't know. But I'm just really enjoying it at the moment. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying ACC, which, you know, Pete was kind enough to lend me through his Steam account, and I've had it on the computer for probably a good year now. And I've sort of gone into it and gone back to it and gone, yeah, no, because I didn't like the force feedback in that, you see. Because that's got a completely different feel to say, the force feedback in that is a completely different way to how it works as it does in R Factor 2. Every car, as Pete said earlier, every car in AMS2 feels completely different to any other sim. Every car in ACC feels completely different to any other sim to me. So, yeah, I think with the update to the physics in ACC, the tyre physics, for me, that smashed it. I was like, I really like this. But it's still, there are elements of ACC that I've kind of, there's things that like I said to you earlier, I've accepted this game as the full packaging of what it is. And I think I've sort of also, the reason I now like ACC is not just because of the new tyre physics update, because there are still certain things about it that I've just accepted and like it for what's good about it, you know, so yeah. Anyway, it is now, what time are we at? Oh, it is now nearly 1 in the morning, and I haven't actually been doing any proper racing because I've been concentrating on quite hard on talking to you guys. So But we had a pretty interesting debate. Watkins said the issue I have with MS2 is mostly that there's not a lot of good, serious racing that other sims like iRacing can produce. Not a lot of good, serious racing. I got to disagree with you there, Watkins, because I did a stream earlier on today, and I did a test stream also last night where I decided to try and see if I could stream from my computer whilst also running a server. It was a bit of a worry because, you know, bandwidth. And I set up 2 serious races, and I had 2 serious races and had them going within 30 minutes, you know. Good 10-lap races. But I will agree with you, the multiplayer system, that you need more control over the server to organise some serious league sort of multiplayer racing so people can vote to go to the next session. But I think Reza will bring that in. I think they're going to work on that. But I don't see any reason why you can't, if I wanted to say get 10 mates together and go, right, we're having a 2-hour race, and we're going to have weather, we're going to have sped up day to night transitions, pit stops and everything. I don't see why there isn't any reason that I couldn't, get 10 mates together and do that tomorrow morning, or, tomorrow afternoon, evening. I think it's perfectly possible. I mean, me and Pete have done an hour race in this with the day to night transitions sped up to, times 24. So yeah, the multiplayer system does need some work. But I mean, out of R Factor 2, which is one of my favourites, out of ACC, which is one of my favourites, Jesus Christ, they're all my favourite. This is the youngest game out of all of those 3. This has been around for the least amount of time. And it took ages for ACC to get their shit together. R Factor 2 is still getting their shit together. The multiplayer system is only good for leaves. It's no good for pickup racing. You jump into it, the multiplayer, and it'll tell you that there's 100 people in the server when there's 0 in there. It can't even do something as simple as tell you how many people there are on the server. It lies to you. This game's getting closer and closer to having a better multiplayer system, and it's only been out since earlier this year. So Watkins says, yeah, I guess I mean in just random servers. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, to be fair, random servers are always going to, public servers are always going to be like that. It's always going to be a bit of a lottery. Scott, new person, Scott, AMS2, the variation of cars, won me over. I'm loving the grippy cars like the P4s and the sprint cars. Yeah, there you go. So we've gone over a few bad points. There's a good point there. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I like it as well. The variation of cars. You've got everything. You've got 4-wheel drive. You've got front-wheel drive. You've got mid-engine. You've got front engine. You've got rear engine. You've got high downforce cars. You've got 0 downforce cars. You've got fucking Beetles, for God's sakes, in a game with F1 cars in it as well. Super, and it does everything reasonably well. I think to an acceptable level. I'll try to think of a bad point to counter that. I suppose one gripe I'd have is the if you take one of the GT3 cars and take the ABS when it kicks in, I've got a Fanatec wheel here which has got quite a reasonable amount of torque. It's not a direct drive, but it's the closest thing you can get to. So it's a CSW 2.5 Clubsport, and the ABS effect. R Factor has this as well to some degree. R Factor 2, when you brake, you'll get the steering wheel pulling from left to right as the real sort of grab for grip. But if you have the ABS set on low or high, you know how if you've got authentic driving aids left on, you can choose to set the ABS or traction control to either low, high, or off. on the fly in the car, but also in setups you can have the moment that it kicks in as earlier or later. If you have that set to 100%, I find the ABS in a couple of the GT3 cars, especially the Porsche and the McLaren, you get into a corner and the wheels really grabbing quite violently left to right. You know, that's a bit overdone, but then again, I've never driven those cars. And that's whether it's set on high or low. On off, it's fine. But then I find if you go into the setup and tell the ABS to come in at a later time, then you can get it feeling pretty much exactly like R-Factor 2's ABS. It's just a slightly different setup. So Watkins said, yeah, the brakes feel weird when you lock up. Yeah, yeah, they do. But I find that only in ABS cars and only in certain cars with the ABS. What you should try doing is what I've done is, so you've got 3 levels of ABS that you can turn on and off on the fly from the car, and that's, you know, even if you've got authentic aids on. I don't use anything else other than authentic. If the car hasn't got ABS, then I don't want it, because I want it to be as real as possible. But in the setups, you can have ABS from 100% to 100%. Now, 100%, it'll tell you. One thing I love about the setups is there's a description for everything in the setups. And I love that. It's kind of like having a manual to the game. Every single computer game now, anything you buy these days, doesn't come with a manual. Everything's supposed to be so intuitive these days that you don't need a manual. That's bollocks. That's just so manufacturers don't have to bother with that side of things. Because everyone has to go on forums and ask other people and everything else. But that's one thing I really like. But you'll see that it says, basically in the setups, if you set it to 100%, it means the ABS will kick in much sooner in your range of travel. And if you set it, you can still have it on high ABS, but have it set at 10%. It just means the ABS won't kick in till much later. And then it feels much more like. Try that in the setups. Just try that out. Try keeping your ABS on whatever you usually have it on, low or high, but take it out with 100% ABS where it's in, say, the McLaren GT3 or the Porsche GT3, because you really notice it in those. And then try running it at, say, 75% or 50% through the setups, and it's a whole different kettle of fish. I found that out just in the last couple of days. It really makes a difference. So, just going to quickly check. Race department, see if there's any updates on the update. And no, it's not out yet. Anyway, it is 1 o'clock in the morning, or thereabouts, and I need to go and have a fag and a coffee, because I'm that nutty. Would you like a song before I go? I'm that mad. I just like sometimes have a break from. Do you like the Beatles? iRacing is usually adding user manuals for you. I've got a knock at the door. Hello? Oh, good night. That's me dad. So he's off to bed because we're all stuck here in the same house at the moment over lockdown. So yeah, what's iRacing is actually adding user manuals for your cars. I think that's really good. But yeah, I've got to wrap this up. I've got to go. People are going to bed, and I want to go and have a ciggy and a coffee because I'm as well as being a complete crazy bastard, I'm really healthy. So I smoke fags and drink too much coffee way late at night. And I might go and have an actual serious race before I completely hit the hay. So, it's been great talking to you all. Thanks for coming along. Pete will do some ACC live serving, I think. That would be cool, because I know Pete's really liking that at the moment, so we've got to do that. And he set up a server over in Cambridge. So, I mean, that's the next thing we've got to do. But yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna shut this down. So, bye bye everyone, and thanks very much, and good discussion. And enjoy sim racing because it's brilliant. Getting cars go fast, but you can't get hurt. Well, unless you got a force feedback wheel that's really strong and it breaks your wrist. Anyway, cheers all. That's the end of the stream. Night.